Hey guys, welcome to another video on Bharat in Germany. I'm Bharat, this is Alina, my wife, and we wanted to talk to you about why maybe listening to your parents every single time is not such a great idea. And I can give you some context about it. Again, I always talk about India because that is the country I grew up in, that is the country I was born in. So, don't take it as a hate, but take it as a personal experience that I'm sharing with you. Yeah. So many times I get these appointments, from students who are actually in this dilemma that my parents are telling me to go for a government job or something, but I know I would be happier if I would go, abroad and study. And not just that, as soon as the parents say or the relatives say or even the friend circle says you should go to the government job, and all of a sudden, even if you had 1% wish of let's say going abroad or something, for many people who do not have that inner drive, this candle just goes out very quickly. This candle of I want to go abroad and I want to do something there. And that is why it is very important that you understand what kind of people you're taking advices from. And your parents, for example. So of course there are so many parents who are also supportive, but there are also 100% a certain amount of parents which are also, let's say, not having the complete idea of how much the world has transitioned right now. The government jobs are not the same way they used to be previously. The competition is insane. And if you want to just have the hopes of clearing IES, GATE or whatsoever all the time, and just struggle for the next exam, afterwards the next exam, and keeping aside this idea that hey, maybe going abroad can change our lives, just because your relatives, your family, your parents do not support that idea or do not really see what could be the benefits of that idea, I think that is wrong. Another thing was the YouTube channel. So when I was starting my YouTube channel, of course, my parents were also telling me that, focus more on the part-time job. Of course, they were borderline supportive in the sense, yeah, good, that you're doing this, and they were sharing, and they were happy posting my videos on their timeline and tagging a bunch of friends. On the other hand, they were also seeing that you're investing too much time inside, and maybe it is not in your best interest to continue YouTube, but you should be focusing on your part-time job so that you can actually support your family. Now, and I was I understand that right now I'm earning just cents per day. This was the time in 2017. But now you see we have crossed almost 200,000 subscribers. I think till the time we upload this video, it will be more than 200,000 subscribers. And it became something because I did not listen to them 100%. I was all right, you're giving me your opinion, I understand, but I'm going to do my own thing. And it turned out so much better. If I wouldn't have uploaded any video whatsoever, all of this opportunity, all of the things that you are seeing right now, and this database that we created for you guys, which has so much information and knowledge, this just wouldn't exist if I would just listen to my family or relatives or friends whatsoever.
Yeah. I also, as a teenager, wanted to go abroad, and then I actually went abroad, but it was a very long way for me to convince my mother. It took 2 years for me to convince her to make her help me financially, to go through the whole process of going to US for a year. It took a lot of convincing, and she was always against it, and not really supportive, and it was a very difficult time for me because that was really what I wanted and needed at that time. I really needed to get away, and I wanted to have a different environment, have a new start in life, and just grow as a person. And I didn't feel like I could do that in Germany at that point. And I would have really wished that of course it's a lot of money, and I would have wished for my mother to support me more, but I can also understand her doubts and all. I mean, US is not the safest country on the planet, and to be honest, I maybe wouldn't have sent my daughter to US, but because of my constant pressure, she basically had no choice. She had to let me go there. Parents are always from a different generation, so they don't really necessarily know how everything nowadays works 100%.
Simple thing is, they are not living your life. Only you are the only person who is living your life, who is being in the everyday situations that you have to be in. And also I can understand the part where you have to ask your parents for financial help and stuff, but most of us who are coming for masters and things like that, you can take loan on your own name. many times like it is like doable, and all you need is like some support from the family to like just get your like feet established here, and then afterwards just like you will be able to take care of it all on your own, right? This is the part that I really want to emphasize on, that as an adult, many times you can do things on your own. You do not have to like rely on your parents to just see your own goals coming into reality. And you have to just like keep this in mind, because not every single time you will have the approval of somebody else to do something which is good for you in the bigger picture.
Me as a foreign person, like hearing all of this, my question which pops up in my head right now is like these parents you're talking about who are like absolutely against it, or who are not supportive, and who like don't want their son daughter to go abroad, like, because I know like what I know of, I don't want to generalize, but I know a few families where, for example, the daughter son is expected to take care of the family in old age. So is that maybe also a reason why they are not so supportive, or like what is the like why are parents not supportive? What do you think, what could be reasons for that?
I think the first reason is always like from the sense of like protecting your child, because I think like Indian parents have a very strong need of like protecting their like children, even if they like get older. In Western society, you see like with 16, 18 or something, you just do your own stuff, and
Yeah.
like nobody cares like what you're doing. But in India, it's different. Like it's a very closely like
It's
knit
not nobody
society.
cares. They let their children grow and be independent, because from 18 means you are grown up and you are on your own, and because of that you learn so much. And
Yeah, but I also believe like sometimes some kind of like advices or something from parents could be interesting, like just to like have a other opinion. But like I said, in the end, you still get to decide. Like you have to remember in the mind that okay, you're listening different kind of things from people, but in the end, you just try to do like what is like more important for
but
you at that moment.
we have also listened, I think, a few cases where the parents were like, no, you're not going, right? There were
Yeah,
a few
yeah,
cases like
we
this.
have seen those cases too, but I don't know, like I
Yeah,
don't know
it's
what
sad.
goes in the brain. I mean, I can understand that like maybe you do not want your child to like face something which is too harsh or something. Many people have this idea of racism all the time, that like everybody's just like looking down on you or stuff like that. And it just comes, I think many of it comes from ignorance, and many of this comes from being super protective of your child.
Yeah,
Both
but
of
then
these things like play a role.
there are these parents who send their children to US, which is like mind blowing to me, with the crime
Well,
rates
for
and all.
US, like there's this different story. For US, the story is for like you get to earn a lot of money.
Yeah,
That's what they
but
think.
what
But
is the
what's
for
the use
me,
of money if your face gets blasted one day when you're like getting out from an office or something?
like what my opinion about this is, it's a little bit off topic, but for me, like money is not everything. Like I feel like quality of life is so much more important. That's why like I would rather prefer Germany or like Denmark. I mean, I have been to US for 1 year and I would not live there. It is not a place where I can raise my children. I don't feel safe there. I mean, you cannot even walk on the street at night. It's like you always have to be scared. I just don't think it's like.
Yeah.
And I think like parents should maybe think about that. Like, is money really everything that like I should advise my child to go to US? Like, I mean, I'm not saying every single part of US is dangerous, but there's always a risk. I mean, guns are allowed. In Germany, it's not allowed.
You're deciding a goal for yourself, and the goal is like out 5 years, 10 years like ahead in time, and for that like you have to remember that if you are not going to take care of taking steps in the direction of that goal, like nobody else is going to like come and like take your hand and like tell you just like go in that direction. Like that rarely happens, and if that happens, like you must be one of the luckiest people on the planet. Generally that never happens. You have to like make your own way. And if you're like just getting all of these noises when you're on that path all the time, you have to like really think about what kind of noises you actually have to filter out, and what kind of like, let's say, sounds are important for you. Now, so in this regard, be very careful of, listening too much to your parents. Like, of course, sometimes they have really good advices. If you know something that you want to do in the long run, just go ahead and like start planning towards it.
Yeah, don't let your dreams die down just because they maybe don't have the same opinion as you. And in the end, it's still your dream, and if it's your dream, then you should definitely do it.
As an adult, you can take care of things on your own. In India, like for example, the age 18 doesn't mean much, unfortunately, but once you're 18, you're allowed to do most of the paperwork on your own. And if you need to find some ways, you actually go to those places and you talk to those people. You like start earning money on the side. Like there's so many ways to earn money. Like I also made a freelancing video or something where you can understand these things. But like there are opportunities right now, especially during the time of internet, to do anything that you want. And this is something that you should keep in mind. You should keep in mind that if I would have listened to my parents of like, let's say doing less YouTube and maybe like more part-time job in the starting, then this channel with 200,000 subscribers wouldn't stand. Now, like me, like setting up like 2-3 different businesses, that wouldn't stand. Me building a life in Europe will also not stand. So you have to like keep these things in mind when you go ahead and like listen to anyone. Thank you so much for watching this video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.